What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mission Mindset.
Yes,
it's
welcome
another
back.
Episode, you guys, and we want to thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
We're very excited to share another hot topic with you guys. But for those of you who don't know who we are, I know how to talk. I am Quan Grant.
And I'm Marisol Cradle.
And together we form this platform just to build a community, to inspire others to create the life that you want using the power of your mind.
Yes.
You could be one idea away from being the next big thing.
Yes.
Okay? So, today we have a great topic for you. And
Is there a spirit on social media?
something to think about, right?
Yeah.
Spirit? No, we all use it. Can't be a spirit, right?
It definitely can.
Yeah, so that's what we want to talk about today. Well, what is social media? Social media is a platform or it's a website or app that people or like us, we use to share content, to create content, and also to just network. You know what I mean?
So, why are you using social media?
Yeah.
Sometimes we go on social media to, network. We go on there to advertise our businesses. We share our photos and pictures of our vacations and stuff.
Right.
So sometimes we don't really realize what is our real purpose of going on there. What is it that we're receiving,
Right.
from these pictures and
Right.
photos that we're posting. A lot of times people get sucked into that because it's like, oh my God, I got a like, or nobody's liking my photo. So
Right.
they base everything on
Validation. Yeah.
Am I good enough? Am
Yeah.
I sexy enough? Is
Right.
my business doing well
Am I
enough?
doing enough?
Am I doing enough?
Right.
So sometimes you just gotta look deeper into your purpose and why you're using social media and what you're getting from it.
Yeah.
Are you consumed by social media? Are you on it more than 5 hours a day?
Yeah.
Are you even taking notice of how long you're using social media? And is it affecting your life in any way? So we wanted to talk about this spirit, right? What is this spirit thing? What does that mean?
Right. What is that?
It's kind of like when you're scrolling through, you're looking at different pictures and different photos, and it's this consumption of your thought process, and you're feeding your brain with all these images, and your brain is taking it all in.
Right.
And it's like now you're kind of locked into this other world. And
When you can't put your phone down.
you can't put your phone
It's
down.
controlling you.
It's controlling you.
It's taking up all your time. You're not
All your
doing a
time.
lot of the things that you said you wanted to do and accomplish throughout the day. What is that?
What is that?
And if you look around, you see a lot of people, everyone's face down.
Face down. Go into a room, you're like, hello.
Right. You got families at the dinner table, they can't even communicate with each other anymore because they're so attached to their phones. You know what I mean? You got dad, mom on the phone. Everyone's just in their phone.
Yeah.
What are we searching for? What are we looking for?
Exactly.
What
And
is
you
it that
only-
we can't put the phone down?
Exactly. And you only get that spirit when you are consumed by it.
Yeah.
You feel it. You feel like unworthiness, and you start comparing your life to other people's lives, and you're like, oh my God, I need to go on there. I need to post a better picture of me. I have to get the right angle.
only
I have
got
to get
10
the good
likes.
lighting,
Right.
And it's it's cool to do that, but as long as it's not overtaking you as a person and who you are,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
who you see yourself to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you start to try to level with what's out there and you don't feel good enough and you're competing, that's when you got to realize there's something a little extra about
and
this.
that's when you need to step back and evaluate yourself and your time spent on social media. How do you feel after?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? How do you feel afterwards? When you put the phone down and you know what I mean?
Everyone's so plugged in nowadays that they can't even see their own life, because they're so tuned into that, and
everyone
they're
else's
seeing
life.
what everybody's life is like. Oh, their relationship is so great. They're posting these beautiful
relationship goals.
I need a relationship like that. So they start arguing with their spouse because you don't look like her,
Right.
or
we don't go on
doing what you-
vacations like
Exactly.
this. You don't take me out.
You don't buy me Louis Vuittons,
Right.
red bottoms.
Not knowing if they were just holding that bag or something in the
Exactly.
store and took it behind the white wall, so you don't know and you kind of think they bought it.
Yeah, it's 85% of things that are on social media
It's fake.
is not. It's
not real.
fabricated. And I feel like sometimes we compare ourselves to these things and allow it to affect our personal lives because we're not measuring up to what social media is like. And doing things quick enough. Talk about that instant gratification thing.
Yeah, a lot of people, nowadays, our generation, we look for instant gratification. We look for a quick fix. We want everything to be fast. You know what I mean? We want to, people aren't going to modeling agencies anymore. They just want to be social media models now. It's just like, let me just, do whatever I got to do to get a whole bunch of millions of likes. How can I get a quick come up, And that is not real life. It's
not. It's kind of like you're operating from a false sense of yourself when you go up there to try to be something that you're not, or to try to measure up to what's presented on social media. Like, I have to look like this. I have to do my makeup like this, or I have to be this way. It's okay to do those things, but when you start the comparison game, you start devaluing who you are as a person and saying like, I'm not good enough, or I have to do this because I have to be good enough.
And then we feel bad, to go back to the whole instant gratification, we feel bad because we're not at the same level as someone else. You know what I mean? It's just like, dang, like I should be doing more.
We think they're at.
Exactly.
We don't know everyone's full story. Instagram is just snapshots of our lives, So you can always dream and wish and be like, I want to have that life, or I wish I could do that. And you have no idea what that story is about. So don't ever wish to have someone else's life.
So that's why I think it's important to just have a balanced life. You know what I mean? You don't want to fall into these traps of social media when you're like, your mind, because it has a way of controlling your mind, and that's one of the spirits that we're trying to touch on. So you don't want anything to control your mind. If it's not God, if it's not you or whatever, you know what I mean? You don't want to be so wrapped up into this and conform to the world's way of doing things that it becomes normal to you.
And you can't differentiate what's normal, what's real, and what's really happening.
You lose
your
yourself.
Reality.
You lose yourself in social media sometimes. And we're not bashing social media. We used it.
We're talking about one aspect of it. That can cause people to just be so consumed by it that they don't even live in reality anymore. Like it's almost depressing to be without their phone. They can't even go a freaking hour without their phone. Like, oh my God. It's like, no, sometimes you got to deplug and just like allow yourself to be present in the moment and feel
like
and connect.
And stop always feeling like you're missing out. You know what I mean? I can only talk from experience. It was times when, I just always felt like, I got to check my phone or see who messaged me or, what's, who likes this picture, you know what I mean? And, you feel cool, like, they like the picture. And it's just like, yay.
Or feel like if someone doesn't like it, like, that wasn't good,
they
or I'm not good.
Maybe they didn't see the picture. You know what I mean?
Or even not that they're hating, like you start to look at yourself, like you have low self-esteem, or think you're not good enough, or like, what's wrong with my picture, So that's what we're talking about. We're speaking to that aspect of social media, how people use it, misuse it, in a way that is not really helping them achieve their goals in their life because they're so distracted by what's going on in other people's lives and what's happening in the world that they're not even doing the things that they want to do for themselves. They're missing out on their calling and their purpose because they're consumed by another reality that is false.
Just wrapped up in everyone else's life, you know what I mean? What everyone else is doing, you know what I mean? We kind of forget what we can be doing in that time. Another point we wanted to make is, who are you following?
Who are you following?
And
like, what are those people doing for you? Not even people, because sometimes, people follow different kind of organizations and stuff like that. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the things that get people off track. Something that they are aspiring to be, or something that is causing them to feel insecure or insufficient with themselves. So we're talking about those things. Like, what are you following? Does it have substance? Is it helping you, increase your life goals?
Because these things, is what we're pumping into our veins, into our mind, into our blood. You know what I mean? By constantly repeating them, repeating them over and over again. You know what I mean? Like, who are you following? Are you following, and I'm not going to name drop or whatever, but what's feeding your mind?
Yes.
You know, is it positivity? Is it negativity? Is it something that you know you can do without? Is it lust? You know what I mean? Are you following people that's making you feel a certain way and, you know, having you in a whole lustful state of mind? Or are you following people with, you know, that can speak life into you and inspire you and encourage you and challenge you to be better, you know, because what we think about, these are things that we're drilling into our mind.
Yes, exactly.
And we got to be careful about those things.
Our mind is like a computer, so any image that we feed it constantly, and if you're doing it every day, it's going to start to replace what reality is for you and what you think is the right way of doing things, or what you feel is good, and you're going to conform to that behavior without even realizing it, because your subconscious mind is like a filter. It's like going in there, seeping in, and it's going to be there for a very long time.
So are you constantly pumping, I'm not good enough, you know, I should be like them, or my life is not working out for me, look at everyone else's life? Are these the type of thoughts that's going through your head?
Are you anxious? Do you get anxiety about your phone or not having it with you?
Right.
Do you get angry with people? Do you argue with them? Like, these are the checklists to just check yourself.
Are you pumping more fear into your life? You know what I mean? More insecurities?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We do these things without even knowing it, because this is what we're feeding our minds. You know, you think it's just, it's just social media. I'm just going through pictures. I'm just, you know, scrolling through. But like,
our mind is a garden, and there's plenty of seeds in there, and we're planting those seeds. And those seeds are the images that we keep continuing to plant.
Right.
And as we plant them, they're going to get water, because every day you keep on going to those same places, and it's just going to grow.
Yeah.
So you got to start picking out those weeds and those plants that no longer serve your purpose in life, in which you can't figure out your purpose if you're in a phone. 24/7.
So don't be afraid to put it down, you know what I mean, and reconnect with yourself, reconnect with God, you know what I mean, and allow your mind a break, you know, to think and to be free and to create and to pray and to be more centered.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And you can't do that when you're so distracted by things out of the ordinary. We had this conversation a while back, and we were talking about social media and the different things that we idolize. And social media was one of the things. And you can idolize clothing, money, TV, all these things. Like, what is in the forefront of your mind in your life? Like, what are you idolizing? And then these images of evergreen trees came into my mind, and I just saw like loads of evergreen trees, like I was a bird flying over these evergreen trees.
I remember
while we were talking.
We were on the phone, and I'm just like, you're like, what do you think about when you think evergreen? Like, what is that? I'm like, I don't know, the tree, life.
And I just went on and I like did some investigation, because when I get images like that out of nowhere in my mind, I'm like, okay, something planted out there. God was just giving me a vision. And then I found this scripture, and
which I thought was really cool.
I know, we were like, oh my God. It says, "O Israel, stay away from idols." Right? We're just talking about idols. "I am the one who looks after you and cares for you. I am like a tree that is always green, giving my fruit to you all through the year."
How good is that?
Yeah, it was like mind blown.
But how about, before you even like break that down, this was during our break from social media.
Our break from social media.
So this is why we were able to receive these type of downloads, and it was just like God was just allowing us to kind of scope out the scene and kind of take us out of it and show us like, this is what you're doing.
Yeah, this is what you're idolizing.
You're idolizing this, you know. And now that we were on a break and we were able to, you know what I mean, hear from God clearly, it was just like, wow, that was me too. I was one of those people, like,
without even realizing it.
Looking for some type of satisfaction. You know,
wanting to inspire people, and like, oh man, they didn't like this, or maybe I should do another post about this idea. Maybe they'll like that. Maybe that'll inspire someone. But really, it shouldn't be that. You should just create the content that you feel most powerful about, that God has given you, and be confident about it, and put it out there, and whoever receives it receives it.
Absolutely.
But not looking for something back in return. So when we got that, it was just like, whoa. And we had a whole conversation about it, and like, how, you know, God is everlasting life, and it's like, you know, I will be that for you.
Yeah.
I will fulfill you.
Yeah.
Nothing else can fulfill you
Yes.
like I can fulfill you.
Yes.
So that was like powerful,
I love
because
that.
just being on that break and then realizing that, like,
Yeah.
I don't need any of these things.
I don't have to thirst after these things. I don't
thirst
have to
after
hunger
anything.
after these things.
I'm already full.
I'm already full.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
Evergreen trees are everlasting.
You gonna leave me hanging? No, that's
No, but
good.
that was it.
Yeah.
That was really good.
And we have to, you know, that really, you know, spoke to me. You know what I mean? Like, because sometimes we look for other things and people and places, you know, to fulfill us. You know what I mean? It's just like God is saying, I'm enough. You know what I mean? I validate you. I affirm you.
Yeah.
You know, I'm enough. You're enough.
You
know
are.
what I mean?
You are enough. You don't need social media. Let social media work for you.
For you.
And that's the kind of thing that we were discovering over our break,
Yes.
is to realize how social media is a tool, and it was put there for us to be able to socialize, network,
Right.
and do all these different things, but not for it to consume us and to take away our
Right.
real life,
Mm-hmm.
but to add to it as a way to, you know, transport messages.
Right.
So allow social media to be a tool that you have control over, and
That's
not
good.
the other way around.
Right. You don't want to conform to the world way of doing things. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And like I said, we're not bashing social media.
No,
we
because
use
we're
it.
on social media.
Exactly. But like Marisol said, you want to be able to allow it to work for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Why not use it to, you know, be more positive? You know what
Yeah,
I
be
mean?
more
Why not
positive.
use it to inspire others? Why not use social media to create change? You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what, you know, that's how I want to use it.
Yeah. So if you choose to use it whatever way you choose, but as long as you're not allowing it to consume you, that's the whole purpose we're trying to make here, is that you should fulfilled within yourself,
Right.
and be aligned with yourself. Learn how to set limits,
Have a balance.
take breaks.
Yeah.
You know, set a limit on your app. Just say, I'm going to do an hour a day, or 45 minutes a day.
Right.
Where you're
I'm
just
gonna
not
check it at
there
night real quick.
every
Right.
hour,
Yeah.
30 minutes.
And
you know?
be mindful of what you're following and who you're following, because I feel
Yeah.
like if that's the biggest thing too, you know what I mean? Because if you're following positivity, you know, we can't tell you how to use your social media.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're if you do care anything about your mind and protecting and guarding your spirit, then you might want to be mindful of who you're following.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What you're consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be mindful of that, and just set limits.
Yeah.
You got it. You got it made. Just don't let it control you, okay?
Right.
But yes, so that's our take on the spirit on social media.
Yeah.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and make sure you stay tuned for next week. We have a lot of good things for you.